Watch on mobile devices or the big screen, all for free. No subscription required. Download Beely now.
For decades, women have fought tooth and manicured nail for equality and independence. But where has it left our men?
That's well a hard question.
More than ever, 21st century men are struggling to find their identity.
I don't know who wears the trousers anymore.
So many of them lack confidence and they still live at home. And when it comes to women, they are clueless.
I don't think I'll ever figure out what women want.
I'm taking 10 hapless, hopeless blokes and I'm going to transform them into eligible, dateable, capable men. And by the end of it, find the hero inside all of them. Over 1 week, each guy is going to have to leave behind their sad lives.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
And face their greatest fears.
I feel absolutely destroyed already. I got no freaking clue.
Confront their inner demons.
I'd like to be more trusting!
And learn a few things about the opposite sex.
It's the most physical contact I've had with a woman in a long time.
Help is at hand.
This is shocking. Just let out the rage, release that emotion.
It's not going to be easy.
Right.
I've got to get through this.
We'll agree to disagree then. No.
It's time to man up. This is Matt Barr. He's 30, single, and has a double first from Cambridge.
I would describe myself as obstreperous, curmudgeonly and awkward.
Matt's a self-confessed cleverclogs who much prefers his own company to anyone else's.
Small talk doesn't interest me. I'm more interested in big facts than that, major periods of history than, what some random guy did over the weekend.
It's no surprise that Matt lives alone.
After my day's work, I'll probably just go back home to my fortress of solitude and my little man lair.
Matt's the proud owner of a lot of computer games, a dusty keyboard, and an eccentric wardrobe that only Matt himself seems to appreciate.
This little gaudy trinket of an outfit is sort of a fading Brighton Pier magician. Who needs a trouser snake when you've got a shirt snake? It's a herpetologist's dream. Oh, what a night! Even Disco Inferno won't stop these flames of burning.
Matt's wardrobe's not doing him any favours, and neither are his chat-up lines.
If I do find a girl attractive, I will not speak to them on the basis it is very statistically unlikely that they would want to have anything to do with me.
The thought of getting up close and personal with a woman terrifies him.
Some people might go in for a kiss. I'm happy with a salute. That's fine for me.
To say that Matt's got a negative outlook on his lot is something of an understatement.
If life gives you lemons, you complain about having lemons. My life is a lemon. Every day is a lemon. Every second is a lemon.
But behind the bitter jokes lies a sad story. 7 years ago, the love of Matt's life died suddenly.
Myself and my ex had been together for 9 months, even discussed marrying and seemed like a likelihood. So, back to square one.
It's left Matt convinced he's destined for a life of singledom.
I think some people will get lots of chances at love. I think someone who is as inept with women as me is incredibly lucky to get one chance at love, so the odds of having anything more than one would be greedy.
Nowadays, the only company loner Matt enjoys is with his workmates.
Matt is a very interesting character, possibly the oddest person I have ever met. Awkward, bitter, but probably the funniest person I've ever met at the same time.
Matt is definitely cynical and he always sees the worst, just how life is, there's no point to it.
I'm a glass half full sort of person, but the glass is full of hydrochloric acid.
Matt desperately needs to break away from his past and look to a brighter future. Over the next week, I'll be taking Matt on a 5-step programme of personal reinvention where no stone will be left unturned, emotionally, physically or psychologically, in a bid to rediscover Matt's mojo. So I'm bringing him 200 miles from his home to the Man Up flat in London, where my aim is to transform him from cynical loner to dapper dandy. For Matt, embracing change is going to be his biggest hurdle.
Obviously, this is a swigging bachelor pad, but just because I'm in a nice place doesn't mean I will end up in a nice place, metaphorically, by the end of the week.
It's the first morning in the Man Up flat, and Matt's about to embark on a life-changing journey. And the first step is getting out of bed. I'm on my way to meet Matt, and I'm intrigued to find out more about how this lone wolf ticks. Matt has been through a lot, but it really feels like he's dwelling on the past. He's clearly a super geek. He has a double first from Cambridge, so I've got no doubt that this is going to be challenging with someone who's so smart, but he's not really doing anything with his life. Maybe he doesn't realise his potential. I think that's what I need to help him with. Hi! Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Olivia. I was going to make us a cup of tea, maybe.
Go ahead.
I've heard you don't like to cuddle, you like to salute.
Salute. It's more distant.
Why don't you like cuddling?
Oh, you know, it's a bit too in there. I've got hot coffee. You got hot coffee.
This is so awkward. Oh my God, look at the face.
Stop it. Stop it.
I don't normally have this effect on men, but then Matt's not exactly your average kind of guy. After 7 years, you'd be going, maybe I do need a bit of help, because it's you know, it's quite a long time for a young guy to go without any female company.
You've got to have standards. And I don't have, you know, that much to offer, so I've got to find that nice little crossover between the Venn diagram of...
Hang on a minute. You don't know, you have a double first from Cambridge.
I think I'm a terrible date, but I'm a good boyfriend.
But why do you think they're so bad?
I never really have anything to say with people I don't know. I don't like... Small talk's pretty horrendous.
Do you go out a lot?
No, I don't have any friends to go out with, really.
Do you not?
I've got friends from work, but, you know, that's it.
Now, tell me a bit about your family. Do they know you're here?
No.
What would they say if they knew?
Nerd! You suck.
What do they say about you being single? Do they want you to meet someone?
No, I told them I'm gay, so they won't ask that.
You've told your parents you're gay?
Yeah.
Are you just a joke?
No.
You told your parents you're gay?
That's too many questions otherwise.
Oh my God,
But
I'm already exhausted.
Just need a lad.
This is going to be hard work, isn't it? Matt's had little contact with the opposite sex for years, so I'm taking him somewhere to loosen him up and get him back into the swing. Starting in the gym. Can you guess what this is?
It's some sort of torture chamber.
Not quite. More a room full of fit females. I'm hoping that getting Matt to work out with these gorgeous ladies will bring out the man in him. We're going to take you completely out of your comfort zone, and you're going to go to an exercise class with women.
I'll be a sweaty mess after 5 minutes, so until they'll leave one by one once I start to molt and pant and make horrible noises and faces. That's the usual.
Well, why don't we get you to slip into this, then you can show the ladies what you're made of. I'm sensing, however, that our boffin would much rather be doing the crossword. Matt's being ridiculously down on himself. I think genuinely he feels that he's like a repellent to women, and I need to get him to see that he's not.
Oh, I'm underdressed.
If I could wolf whistle, I would. Oh.
If I could swallow my own fingers and make myself vomit and look at myself, I would.
There's nothing wrong with it. You're in good shape. It's only a little bit of exercise with some girls. Time for Matt to enter the lion's den.
Howdy.
Get closer in.
My name is Matt. I'm quivering in fear, and I look forward to whatever sweaty motion it's going to be in this class.
Matt's first task is to pick a dance partner.
Anyone brave enough? Oh.
Then throw caution to the wind and join in with the class.
Walking. Oh no. Too back. Oh no. Which side? Confused. I feel so uncivil.
What do you think of his moves on the dance floor?
I don't know how much of it is shyness.
He's very shy,
He's
isn't
very
he? And
shy.
I feel like he's
I think that's tripping him up rather than actual coordination.
It's easy to hide in a group, but how will he cope one-on-one? I want Matt to realise that there's nothing to worry about when it comes to chatting up women. So I'm going to drop him in at the deep end. And what better way to get schmoozy than in a jacuzzi? This really isn't going to be easy for someone like Matt, who clearly hates his body. And he's going to have to get wet, which means he needs to take more clothes off. Ouch. This is your hot tub?
I don't like it. Can I turn around and run away?
No, you can't run away. What don't you like about it?
I don't know what you do in a hot tub.
You just relax. This whole point is to get you to relax. Do you want to take your vest off? No, this is you in your full regalia.
It's not, well, unregalia. No, nothing to regale.
See? How do you feel?
Under-regaled. Filthy.
You really are quite anxious, aren't you?
Pretty anxious. Just exposing things that are unexposable.
But you've got a great body. I want you to sit in that jacuzzi and relax with women and start chatting them up. Despite the steamy surroundings, Matt's finding it hard to relax his stiff upper lip.
It feels odd. It's like water's touching me. Seems inappropriate.
Time to bring in our women.
Well, it's nice and warm.
Very relaxing. Sorry. That was new. That was the vent. So you work 9 to 5 normally, or?
No, I work as a massage therapist.
When it comes to the opposite sex, Matt seems more Mr. Bean than James Dean.
Did you know that Canada has the longest coastline in the world? Did you see?
Fascinating.
Did you know that the...
Fascinating.
And Matt's final flourish, the salute. He's a gibbering wreck. I just want to get a hold of him and shake him and go, relax. Now, I've got a challenge for you. With the next girl, you've got to give her a peck on the cheek. It's only a peck on the cheek. Time to up the ante. It's Matt's chance to prove his Casanova credentials.
Oh, it's very stimulating. Wow.
Good so far, but what about that kiss?
He made me laugh a lot. Like, I was always giggling, 'cause he was just his personality was really cute. Yeah, I liked him, but he's just not my type.
Matt's done quite well, but it feels like he's still holding back. The first few girls, you couldn't flirt.
I still can't flirt.
But with the last girl, you really pulled it out of the bag. You kissed her on the cheek.
I kissed a different one on the cheek. I kissed her in the hair back, actually.
If you were able to kiss that girl, think what else you could do.
Think what else I might have to do at the end of this week.
Well, there's a long way to go yet.
I know.
Because what I'm sensing now, you're still not relaxed. What are you afraid of?
Intimacy. It's getting close to people.
Matt really values good behaviour, but he's so afraid of being intimate that he runs in another direction. He's almost too gentlemanly. He needs to just actually have a bit of swagger. Back at the flat, Matt reflects on the day's events.
I've obviously never flirted with a bikinied lass before, so having to attempt that and going for a hug on the first meeting is a bit forward when you're touching that flesh. Ooh. I survived. There's no pride, but you know there was limited failure.
Superbrain Matt Barr wants to man up and get back on the road to romance. I've brought him to London to embark on a 5-step programme of reinvention to become Mr. Motivated. But he's struggling to get close to the ladies. Matt finds it hard to interact with people and shuts himself away from the outside world. In a bid to get Matt to open up, I'm sending him to see counselling psychologist Angela Mutanda, who uses a unique technique to uncover her client's deepest thoughts.
Oh dear.
Matt, I'd like you to meet Matt. How do you feel looking at yourself?
I don't do it very often.
What I'd like you to do
With these stickers, identify what you don't like.
That whole thing there, that's a pretty unappealing face. So skin, it's very pale and a bit hairy. Gut area.
You're going to show me your gut now?
Nope. Voice.
So your throat and your voice.
Voice. That's about it.
Use the green ones to tell me what you do like.
Don't hate the feet. There we go. Put the feet.
You just like your feet.
Not massively, but if we had to pick one.
The reason for doing this exercise is to reflect on what you're presenting to somebody else. And this is the first time you've looked at me. Most of the time you've been looking above me or around me.
That's what I do. I don't like intimacy, like I said. I don't really like getting close to people or...
So to look at me in the face would mean intimacy?
It is. You know, eyes are the window to the soul.
But you're looking at me now.
I'm trying to be honest.
What has brought you here today?
Just turned 30 and it's been 7 years since my last relationship as my last girlfriend passed away fairly suddenly.
So was she your first serious love affair?
Yeah, first serious love affair. We discussed marriage even like literally the week before it happened.
So how did you know that this was the person for you?
I put up a lot of walls, so for someone to break down that wall, it's got to be a pretty special person. We both kind of helped each other out, really, personality-wise. We both complemented each other. I wouldn't have to think as much because I could trust her.
And how did you deal with it when your girlfriend died?
I just sort of shied away a bit more from people to think more. Think instead of feel.
Thinking was a very good protection for you.
Yeah, I like to amuse myself with bits of knowledge and bits of interesting things.
So have you said goodbye to her? Have you managed to grieve for her and let her go?
Letting go doesn't mean anything if you've got nowhere to go. It's robbed. Mustn't grumble.
So from that very powerful experience to you now beginning to try something different, how are you going to allow yourself to allow someone else?
I don't know.
To sort of knock on the door?
Psychologically, I think I could do it, but it's more practically, I don't know how I would be able to put myself in a situation.
That's interesting, because it feels like psychologically that's where you would struggle. This is somebody who feels very defended, at times quite bitter. There's a bit of you that's died, but these are real feelings that do feel as if they're in the way.
And I wouldn't be here if I wasn't willing to move on. It's just a question of
have you let go of what's happened before?
I would like to at least test the waters from meeting people point of view.
I think that's brilliant. And actually get into the process of living again.
But yeah, we'll see. This isn't the first time I've spoken to anyone about these events, but it's obviously not something I would discuss on a regular basis. I think I'm quite in touch with my emotions as it is. However, I need more opportunities in which my emotions could be expressed. If I take steps in that direction, I think I'll be much more equipped to handle them.
Some men find it hard to express their emotions.
Last time I cried was when Michael Jackson died in 2009.
The last time I cried was when my cat died, and he was 19 years old.
When was the last time I cried? I remember crying a lot in E.T.
I think most men do have an issue with expressing their emotions. I've always been a little bit of a softie. I'm not even afraid to kiss my male friends.
I love hugging.
I am a little bit afraid of intimacy. I'm not particularly good with it.
I think if you bottle up your feelings, then they're just going to spill out eventually.
It is important to feel emotion. You just got to know when to do it.
So how did your chat go with Angela?
I feel some hope, an element of hope, but of course it's going to be pointless without putting it in practice.
Matt's beginning to open up to the idea of moving forward with his life, but I want to tackle a physical issue that's really holding him back.
I appreciate that you don't like the way you look, but when I look at you, I see an attractive, slim guy in his prime that has everything going for him. You just don't believe it.
I don't.
So I'm going to take you to meet someone that will help you with your body issues.
Uh-oh.
I want Matt to put his poor self-image into perspective once and for all.
Hi, Ricky.
I'm taking him to meet a man who lost his right leg in a motorbike accident. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, Ricky's taken life by the horns. Hi, Ricky.
Hiya.
This is Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Matt, Ricky sustained an injury that made him look at body image in a completely different light.
After my accident, I found it for the first 8 to 10 weeks. I was really conscious about the way I looked and how other people looked at me because I stood out a little bit more from the crowd. And it is quite hard the first couple of times.
Have you been fit all your life, or
No,
swimming
I
all the
haven't.
time?
No, but since my accident, I've just decided that, do you know what? I'm just the same as everyone else, and just go out there and get it. It's give me that big push.
Matt's been through something traumatic, obviously very different, but that has kind of changed your path, but you haven't found it again.
My ex I was going to get married to passed away suddenly, but...
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But yeah.
I mean, I suppose you had a plan for how your life was going to go, and then it all changed.
Yeah, of course it does, but that's what makes me me. Now, that's just another chapter to my life.
Because he's so positive mentally, he thought, no, I'm going to live my life. And it's kind of like he's a glass half full guy, unlike Matt, who's totally fit and able-bodied, but is definitely a glass half empty or half full of... Vinegar.
Oh, right.
That's maybe where you could do with some work.
I'm hoping that Matt's beginning to understand that whatever you're dealt, it is possible to have a positive outlook.
Do you feel you're living life to the full at the moment?
I don't think I know what life is to live it to the fullest.
You're restricting yourself. You've got nothing to lose by taking the plunge.
Yeah. If I know where I'm plunging, I will officially plunge.
Sometimes it's better not to know, and just go for it. You've got to go out there and live your life, because you get one go at it, and that's it.
But my plan doesn't exactly have the desired effect.
So how are you feeling after that experience?
It's like a guilt trip.
A guilt trip?
Yeah. No, he's a really nice guy. I mean, it's glad to meet him from that point of view.
Did it make you feel different about your situation?
No, I don't think it did. I think his situation's very different, but I think he cemented a few things, just not the whole positivity thing.
You've just met the most wonderful person who, you know, a healthier response would be to feel inspired. Did you not look at him and see how much fun he's having and how effortless he seemed? And did you not think that, like, that is a whole part of being proactive? You'll be more proactive when you're having more fun and you feel better about yourself. Being positive, is that really difficult for you?
I don't see the benefit. I see the benefit of relaxing, I see the benefit of taking more chances, I see the benefit of being more proactive. I don't see the benefit of being more positive.
What if you're wrong? Do you ever think about that?
I'll apologise.
Matt is such a tough nut to crack. And what concerns me is if he's not even willing to embrace change or the notion of it, then I've got a losing battle on my hands.
I don't think it's a question of changing my attitude per se. It's more a question of making sure my attitude doesn't get in the way of achieving what I want to achieve. And if things start to change for me, then my attitude will change more naturally. It makes more sense to be positive when positive things are happening. I'd like to have a glass that's half empty as well as one that's half full, so I can have a full glass. And then maybe in the future, I'll be able to throw out the one with hydrochloric acid and vinegar.
Bar is beginning to overcome his fear of the opposite sex. But he has no confidence in other people or himself.
To me, when you say things like that, they actually feel quite sad.
Mustn't grumble.
I want Matt to embrace life again. However, he's not making it easy.
Did you not think a healthier response would be to feel inspired?
No.
Today, I've got the biggest challenge yet for Matt. It's time to get him out of his books and into the real world. Matt thinks he's come to central London for a treat. But I've arranged for him to get down and dirty with some real men.
You may be book smart, but are you street smart?
I'm familiar with some streets in the world, but maybe not how to survive on them.
So we're going to toughen you up and we're going to put you in a big group of lads where there's loads of testosterone and you're going to have to do small talk.
I could do that.
What Matt doesn't know is that he's going to spend the day shifting waste from building sites. He'll need to put his back into it and get on with the lads on the job. But it's tough work. Will our bookish boffin rise to this manly challenge?
Like lads.
Hiya.
Hi, Pete. Nice to see you. How's it going? This is Matt.
Matt, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pete. How you doing?
Pete runs a site clearance company.
We literally go around to building sites everywhere and we pick up loads of rubbish. Here's your kit.
Yep.
What we've got in here, we've got loads of hardcore bags, probably about a ton and a bit, and loads of rubbish to go on top. It's all got to go on this lorry. It's got to be done in an hour. Has to be done.
All right.
It's up to you.
All right, that
All right,
sounds...
then, buddy.
That sounds interesting.
You'll be good.
All right, if not, I'll apologise profusely.
Matt is a solitary guy. He chooses to alienate himself. He's got a massive transformation to do today. He's going to have to muck in with the lads and be interested in all of them. He can't be snooty and judgmental here. They'll have him for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Lee?
If Matt's to succeed, he needs to become a team player, bond with the lads and win their respect.
Let's just go working on these. Should we start with the bags, maybe?
Things get off to a good start. But it doesn't last long. Rather than ask his co-workers for help, he struggles on his own. What Matt's not realising is that teamwork is key.
Easy, Matt. Right, that's too heavy, yeah? Anything's too heavy. 2 men. That's it, ready? Just on the back.
Matt's poor communication skills aren't impressing his workmates.
The mistake he's made is not talk to us and ask us what's the best way to go about it. You know, it's easy to chuck rubbish in the back of a lorry. Anybody can do that, but you need to find out what's going on from the people who do it all the time.
But what happens is, the builders, they need to keep their bags. So we need to tip them out.
The back of the truck is the perfect place for Matt to hide, away from the boys.
He hasn't made much of an effort to get to know us yet. Didn't ask anything about us or even about my personal life, really. Sort of not much interaction going on at the moment at all, really. Have you done any physical work like this before at all?
Did some reading.
I'm not sure I'd want to go out for a drink with him yet, but the day is young.
First job done, it's time for lunch. But can Matt redeem himself with a bit of banter over a mug of tea and a fry-up?
What are you going for, then?
Bacon, egg, sausage, chips.
Sounds good.
What?
You're the one on the diet. No,
no.
We don't need that.
You're getting killed here.
How do you think you did today, doing the work?
I made an effort, you know.
That needs to improve.
I was industrious, yes.
Yeah.
My report card would be I'd say report card, it's probably a C. Maybe a C+.
Hey, at least you got stuck in. On the next one, you'd be laughing then, wouldn't you?
I don't know if laughing. Laughing or crying. You got the shame.
The guys are all pretty easy to get on with. And, you know, they're not judging him because he's a Cambridge graduate. They're judging him as a human being.
It's the final job of the day.
Should we get a chain together?
And Matt's starting to realise that teamwork really is the way forward.
We definitely don't need the bags, right? It's not going to be a trick.
No.
Got it?
I'm desperate to find out how Matt's been getting on.
How's it going?
Definition of fun in the sun.
You look like you've actually... What have you done to yourself?
A variety of scrapes and various injuries.
Gosh, you've really got stuck in. Did you do this deliberately, or was this an accident?
No, he's just actually been working.
You won't believe it, though.
And how's he done?
He did well, he got stuck in.
Did you see a real man here then? Was he a beast of a man, in your estimation?
He done all right. I think so.
He got better as the day went on.
This is the happiest I've seen you, and you've been hanging out with a load of people that you would never usually. Were you surprised how you were able to find a common ground? Because usually you would have taken yourself out of a situation like that.
It's just that normally you get an impression of lads being rather leery, and they were not leery at all. They were wonderful people. Even if you're a nerd, it doesn't mean you cannot go beyond the nerdy realm.
If you mean what you're saying, do you mean it?
I do, but I just don't know how to progress beyond that.
But maybe be less selective about who you talk to and who you hang out with. Maybe less judgmental.
And if I'm with some people, I'll be positive because they're positive, and it'll rub off on me.
We've got something to work with here.
I genuinely feel that Matt's binned some of his baggage today.
You've done well. You sort of listened to get me on board as well, so we're sort of expecting, not to be able to do anything, but you actually done quite well, You did all right. You did all right.
The scariest ones was getting into a hot tub with some bikinied women.
That's not a challenge.
Sure,
it's not really a challenge, is it? That's just like a dream.
It is for me.
I think Matt is slightly surprising himself. I feel like he went into this whole experience expecting not to enjoy it, and that was his cynicism. And maybe today he enjoyed it more than he thought. He's smiling, his body language is more open, and perhaps he's starting to come round.
Matt's making progress, but there's still one area that needs a massive amount of work: his wardrobe. No woman wants to date a man who doesn't care about his appearance.
A metrosexual man is just somebody that simply takes care of their appearance. Absolutely, I'm a metrosexual man.
Can you define the question, please? Sorry. What is a metrosexual? Is that like straight? The metrosexual man. Right here.
A lot of men these days don't have long hair. I mean, as you can see, I've got long hair, and from experience, I would say women do like long hair. Well, I've got long hair. I think I got inspired by Michael Jackson. I don't know. I don't think too hard about it.
I've been metrosexual since about 1995. I have specific tweezers for nose hair.
I've been using moisturiser for nearly 30 years.
I do shave certain bits of my body. I shave my genital area.
I once shaved my chest for a girl. That was the worst thing ever. I would never do that again, I'm sorry. Hairy or not, that's how I come.
I want Matt to not only like himself, but also the way he looks. What a lot of men don't realise is that what they wear is a big part of who they are. Clothes really do becometh the man. To transform Matt's fusty attire is stylist Gemma Shepherd. She's certainly got her work cut out to make this swat look hot.
You've got this kind of sense of quirkiness, clearly. However, for me, there's a difference between it being vintage mothball to being vintage cool. I was told that you were quite body conscious. You've got a good body, you've got a good V going on here. You're a slim guy.
One area that Matt particularly can't bear is his body hair.
Let's take a look at you. Okay, the hair is patchy. I believe men should have hair, but I think we can tame it and control it and making it look like we've made effort with our body.
I'm willing.
You willing? Let's go for it. The geek chic is in. It's cool. Embrace it. How would you feel going on a date in this?
Adventurous.
This is nice, but I don't love it. Stand tall, own your space. Next. I'm loving this. This is quite rock and roll, and I definitely dress one of my boy bands in this.
I might join one.
Oh, might you? You are a clothes horse. You're good height, you're perfect measurements, you have got model proportions. Embrace it, be bold. I think you're quite enjoying this now. Come on, tell me.
I've got a bit of swag.
Tell me you're
Element
feeling
of swag.
With the swag in the bag, Matt's mop gets the chop before the beautician gets her wax out.
Blimey.
No pain, no gain, Matt. Matt's bar is on the final leg of his transformation to man up. In just 1 week, he's discovered a new lease of life, started to overcome his greatest fears.
The scariest ones was getting into a hot tub with some bikinied women.
That's not really a challenge, is it?
And is about to take his first steps to a new life.
You have got model proportions. Embrace it, be bold.
Our boring boffin has gone from lonely librarian to man about town. Matt's come a long way this week, but I want to find out if he's truly changed and ditched his world-weary cynicism once and for all. Skinny jeans. You've got a good set of pins on you, haven't you?
Thanks.
You have gone from geek to, say, chic mystique.
Generally, I had a phobia of skinny jeans because they tend to be kind of constrictive.
Well, not anyone can pull these jeans off.
I know. Just a special lady pulled my jeans off.
This is gone and the hair's come.
A lot's gone.
Oh, yes. You've got to show me some of it.
It's actually still red.
Girls love a waxed chest, like a Greek Adonis.
Well, I don't know, yeah. A few more gym sessions, maybe, and then I'll be more Adonisian.
So far, you flirted with girls. Were you trying to?
Somewhat, I tried to.
But by the end of it, you were flirting. So if you had to go and flirt now, you actually feel you're more equipped to do it.
More equipped, yes. Not necessarily equipped yet.
You do seem like a changed man. You had a metaphoric wall on day one when we first met.
I thought wall, yes.
The wall's gone now, the hair's gone. What's left?
There's nothing left apart from cool guy.
You were really clinging on to not wanting to be positive and not wanting to embrace new stuff. And I don't know, I feel like maybe you're opening your mind a bit now.
I'll probably still try and analyse people a bit too much, so maybe it's just listening to them first, and then...
Maybe not making judgments.
Maybe not judging them until I get to know them.
I see progress. Matt used to take pride in his bitterness. Time for a taste of his own medicine. A glass of vinegar. Cheers to you. Sorry. I wanted you to do that to see that tastes pretty rank, right? And that's what your insides were full of before. You were pickled to the core. Have that one. That's the old you. That's going to go down the plug hole. And there we go. Ready to go. Wow. I've got one last thing for you.
Yeah.
Tonight, you are going to be the host with the most, because you're going on a date.
Criminy.
I haven't seen you this frightened about anything.
Date's bad. Let's call it a social.
Why is date bad?
I don't want my ex to be disappointed in me.
You've got to move on.
I don't want to let her memory down there.
But do you not think that she loved you enough that she wanted you to be happy? You are not disregarding her memory by going on a date. You have to move forward with your life. You're living. You're still here.
Yep, because I am living now.
Well, you've been living like a dead man for the last 7 years. You've been dead with her,
Yep.
really.
Yeah.
Emotionally, you've kept yourself dead. But that great thinking you have got you here.
Yeah.
So obviously, it wasn't working, right?
Well, let's see what happens. I've done enough challenges here. I suppose one more won't hurt.
When I first met Matt, he had a better defence system than Alcatraz. He had his wall of armour up and we weren't getting in. And I didn't really get in until that last moment there. And I feel like finally he dropped his metaphoric shield. And I quite like him now, and I don't know if I could have said that on day one. Matt's about to face his greatest fear, a date with destiny. On the menu tonight is a couscous chicken dish. And his pièce de résistance.
As a starter, I'm just doing salmon tureen bits on makeshift cracker bits. It's just very frustrating not to be able to know anything about the conventional date or what they like. To have to try and wing it, which is not my specialty. I don't agree with just pointless romantic gestures just for the sake of trying to show off, so as I don't know this person, I'm not going to serenade them with some cliched hearts and flowers and all that.
Matt's lucky lady tonight is Monica, who he met earlier on in the week.
I think we will have a fun time tonight. And I've got some wine too for him. We'll see if he like it. Hi.
Hi, fancy seeing you here.
Wow. What a transformation. Very nice. They cut your hair. How are you?
Oops.
You're right. Where do you sleep?
Upstairs, got a bedroom up there.
Very nice. And did you cook?
I did cook, indeed.
Really? Oh dear.
I think this is oh dear.
Can I trust you?
I don't know if you can. We'll try the hors d'oeuvres and see if you like them.
Who could resist those hors d'oeuvres?
Perfect.
Oh, glad you like it.
But Matt's still finding small talk tough.
It's very difficult for me if I don't know someone. It's just difficult.
Let's hope that Matt's main course proves a discussion point.
Okay. Have this meal.
Wow. Un appetito?
Oh, Italian, I like it.
Despite the arrival of dinner, Matt's still struggling to relax.
You might pour myself some more wine.
One for luck. And another. And another. At last, the date begins to take off.
What are you, sport fan?
When I was a kid, I was playing football.
Football? That's,
Basketball.
Surprised me as a footballer. You don't look like a soccer player. But, yeah. What made you grow out of it?
I wanted to go dancing instead.
It's ballet or?
No, clubbing.
Oh, clubbing. Oh, I mean, I've been to the occasional all-night party. Can go all night if required.
Oh.
Fortunately for Matt, Monica has just the thing for dessert.
So, maybe you need a bit of massage?
No, I'm quite tense, so
Really?
never had a massage.
Never ever.
I've been shampooed. Does that count?
Okay. You want to try?
Very light one.
Yeah,
There we go.
just lay like if you're
I don't know how to. I don't know how to relax very well.
How does it feel?
Oh. Just get to the conclusion.
Really? It does make you feel relaxed?
Oh, I'm too relaxed.
All right.
Not normally a relaxed person.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the
So,
experience.
hopefully you will try one again.
Hopefully will. If you're coming up to Manchester at some point, I'll have to
if you
make a
invite
proper
me.
session in. Yeah, I'll have to get your number.
He's very sweet. I like him a lot, actually. I'm definitely planning to go to Manchester.
Considering the fretful beginnings, I hope it went fairly well. It did end with, well, she stayed for the whole time and she provided me with a number and even gave me a massage, which I don't think has ever happened on a date before, at least in my limited experience. Came into this, I was very sceptical that it would work, being quite a jaded and savvy individual. And I think I'm still fairly jaded and savvy, but I did actually learn quite a lot from what I've undergone. I still would do anything for my ex to be here, and will do anything to honour her memory. I also think one way to honour her memory would be to live my life slightly more out in the real world. I think I'm perhaps a little more accepting of things. There's slightly less neural activity going on when it comes to the unimportant things that I can't change. I think it just taught me a bit to move on even if you don't know where moving to.
He is a different person, yeah. He's got style now, which he certainly didn't have before. Matt 2.0, I think.
To life. My favourite poems by Browning talks about joyously casting away hope. I feel like that's sort of what I did. I got rid of hope, whereas now I'm willing to take some risks. The glass is perhaps the same, but full of something slightly nicer, and it's a glass I'd share with someone else, perhaps.